Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Like you're saying, fine-tune yourself and attune yourself, and then
to the self.
And there's no path or way to do it. You just have to keep on trying, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. I still don't. And I both know what you mean and don't know what you mean. Both ways. It's both are true.
Yeah, look, I think sometimes not understanding too much intellectually, but just listening to with an open heart opens up, rather than, getting frustrated that I'm not understanding. Because, the one who says that I'm not understanding is actually the mind. Mind cannot understand it. So to use mind and to go beyond mind is because you are using mind in a way to get ready to sit here and practice. So you are taking a sankalpa in your mind or sort of thing, and then we have to get rid of that same mind. So then the mind says, I don't know, what is it? Because because when this will happen, it is exactly like a kid is born and now he's fighting with his parents that you never invited me on your marriage, and then they say, okay, what can we say to this person, and he said, look, you're living together, but and you are so close to me, you love me, but you never invited me on your marriage. So this is the thing, mind can't be there when you are there, and so you have to transcend the mind to be in pure awareness. But then yes, mind will. And so when people have beautiful experiences, when they are in void or they feel they are universal consciousness, then the mind comes back and the mind just tastes the after effects, because there is so much of peace and the person looks peaceful, and then mind says, oh, that's very nice. And but then mind has no clue that what happened. So for mind it's an experience, everything is an experience for mind. But for you as a being, that is what you are. So the problem is we are always seeing ourselves from the mirror of the mind, and what mind tells us we believe that, because we don't know any other faculty in us which can tell us the truth, because we are that faculty, we are that truth, we are that awareness. It is not an experience. So, and we are so used to experiences that everything for us is an experience, you go to a movie, you say, oh, you like the movie, or you didn't like the movie, or how the food tasted. If you see what is experience, experience is using these senses. We have senses, 5 senses, and this body is made for experience only. This body is the purpose of this body, and mind is to interact with the world and to have experiences, gain experiences of different types, food, touch, smell, taste, everything, hear, vision. And so we don't know there is another faculty, and what that faculty is, we are our own self, because we are always using these senses, we are so dependent on them that we can't detach ourselves from the senses and just be our pure being. And once we understand that, then the game is over, because all the time we are in senses, thoughts, feelings, emotions, which are the components of this body mind complex. But we are much, much vaster and beyond. And I'll tell you honestly, in your own self, you can live without all these senses. Because I think now I have to take help of your belief system that we get born again and again. So between two bodies there is something which is still surviving without the body, so that without the senses and without a form. So that is what, at least we can come to that conclusion, that we are not this body, at least when we leave this body.
Hmm.
And once we have that understanding, then we can go beyond, and then we can look into what we are, like just keep looking into the silence within.
Right.
So that
So,
can
I mean,
be.
what you say is it's very clear at every level, but that doesn't mean that the transcendence doesn't happen just because it's clear. No, it's clear, it's absolutely clear, without doubt, but still
But
something is clearly holding back.
yes, yes. So when there is a doubt, still there is a doubt, something is not clear. This is again, you need to know that this is the mind which
The
can
mind, yeah.
can never
No,
grasp.
I'm saying there's no doubt. There is no doubt, but still the mind is not calm. It's not like I'm having any doubt about. Things feel so clear when you speak, and when I listen to this, there's no dissonance. It feels absolutely true. At the same time, mind is still very much here.
Yeah, yeah. So let be patient with the mind, and let it stay. So I always tell one thing, that you can't fight with the mind. Mind, I always treat it like a bad neighbor. You can't do anything with. You can't fight, you can't love. So what can you do? You can ignore. So if the mind is coming with vengeance, it's very loud, it's saying, oh, it's all crap, there's nothing, this is not truth, you are not getting anywhere, it's wastage of time. Let it say what it wants to say. It can say only, the only way mind can disturb you in form of thoughts. Let it produce as many thoughts as it wants. You just stay in your own stillness, in your own silence. Remember, whatever this chattering is going in the mind, it's not you. And then it is something which is not in your control. So how can you deal with something which is not in your control, which is not you? You just ignore, avoid. But if you can't avoid, it's too loud, then just stay and look into the background silence of that noise also. Like, you can be sometimes in a busy crowded market, but you are in your own thoughts. Or you can still chat to a friend, if it's a very noisy restaurant. So something like that, just as take it as a background noise, and don't own any thoughts. Don't think they are your thoughts. Just they are coming for whatever reason. Who knows why to tease apart the reason of these thoughts. You just stay in the background silence of these thoughts. And look, any spiritual seeker, sadhak who has practiced, will find some pauses between the thoughts. It's not that thoughts are there all the time. And whenever this happens in your solitude, when you are in a very serene mood, just absorb into that silence and go beyond these thoughts. So that pause between the thought is so important. You focus on that pause, and you are that pause. So the disturbance comes and goes. So mind comes and goes, but you are always there as silence. But because the mind is so active that we don't appreciate the pauses, and we are always in thoughts. Even when you are listening to someone, what happens is that the mind drifts away and it starts its own story, and then you get lost and then you come back. So when someone is talking, the mind is not even at that place. That's why, those preliminary practices, or you can say, I say them that they are supporting practices like japa, or focus on a picture, or focus on a light, candle light, or a diya. All these things helps to bring attention to one thing. So then when mind is ekagra, just we call it ekagra, like concentration. And when the mind can concentrate on one thing, then it can concentrate, then it is less disturbing. So it can focus on one thought. Let's say that thought is I amness, just an awareness of I amness. Because I can share you personally the method what Nisargadatta Maharaj talked about worked so well. Because I always treated that I'm nowhere close to Bhagwan. Bhagwan was just born like that almost. He'd never practiced, it just happened. So I should follow someone who practiced. And then the closest person in non-duality which I could see was Nisargadatta Maharaj. And Nisargadatta Maharaj was someone who just told that it took him 3 years, and he just was into this I amness, feeling of awareness, always into the feeling of awareness, like coming back to feeling of awareness, like I amness, not I amness with any word, but just that feeling of aliveness. So that feeling of aliveness is not with any emotions, any thoughts. It is very blank. It is nothing actually. But when you stay there for long, then it has its own joy. And then things opens up, and then you love it so much that you just that. So it you have to practice to just have a knack of what this awareness is, this I amness is, from where you are witness to all the thoughts and emotions, but not moving out of it. Like you can move, but you stay in the source. You don't get out of it. And I think that once you understand that, then whatever happens, no one can move you from that place, because that is what you are. So it is like understanding in the gamut of all these things which we have been possessed by: intellect, ego, mind, thoughts, emotions. And look, they are all part of the same package. They are not like we have to get rid of your intellectual understanding and you have to get rid of thoughts and then you have to control emotions, you have to get rid of anger, greed. It's not like that. Actually, if you see, most of the religions talk truth, don't steal, love others. It's useless. How many good habits you keep learning? You just get rid of this ego, and the thing which is left is pure awareness, which is only love and bliss. It's so impersonal. It is the consciousness in all of us. And to reach that, I believe this is such a simple and profound technique, just staying in this I amness, awareness. And you are there. There's nothing else. There's nothing else actually. That is what self-realization is, staying in as an awareness, an I amness. And the mind comes, so maybe you get too attached to the mind, so you are out of this awareness at this stage. And then what happens? You come back to awareness. So it's like losing it, not losing it, but the mind has come back. So it's like you are a sky, but the cloud comes and it has taken over. Now you know that it is a cloud. You just stay in that awareness. Even in that midst of that noise of the mind, you can just stay as an awareness, because you know it was there, so it is still there. No one tells you, and you never have a doubt when a cloud comes and in a clear sky, and someone says, "Oh, sky is gone now. There are only clouds." You know, you are so convinced. You say, "No, you are wrong. Sky is there." They say, "You can't see." You say, "I know it." Exactly the same way. Once you caught hold of your awareness, your awareness as awareness of the thoughts, awareness of the body, awareness of everything, and when the mind comes, again the same thing, 100% conviction. No, I know, but who challenges you? It is the mind only. Who puts doubt in you? It's the mind only. Who creates this confusion is the Maya, illusion, the force which does not want you to leave. Actually, it is good. It checks us. It makes us really solid, because when you go into your awareness as permanent, you should be completely empty. You should be completely empty. You can't go with your own personality into it. If you go with personality, then the problem is, then all what you have learned and did has gone into your ego. And the ego gets boosted up. Now I know this also. I was this profession, I did this, and now I'm a yogi, and now look, I'm an enlightened soul. Oh, beautiful. Then you have already lost the plot.